From Tupac Shakur to Bobby Shmurda to even more recently YNW Melly rappers have had their fair share of run-ins with the law. And no matter how gangster anyone is, they don't want to spend extra time locked up. That's why the feds and prosecutors usually use this to their advantage, trading less time for information. Some rappers like Tekashi 6ix9ine are ready to run their mouths, but there are some rappers who kept it real in court. Here's 9 of them. Bobby Shmurda. In 2014, you couldn't put on a radio or go on social media without hearing Bobby Shmurda's viral hit, Hot. The song was so popular that it spawned its own viral dance, the Shmoney Dance. Look, it was everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Even Beyonce herself did it on her On the Run tour with Jay-Z. Bobby Shmurda was going to be set, but alas, the law found him wanting in 2014. The 26-year-old rapper, known by his real name, Aquil Pollard, found himself entangled in a web of legal troubles. The arrest that set off this chain of events occurred on June 3, 2014. Police claimed they caught Shmurda brandishing a gun inside an apartment and attempting to hide it on a sofa. He was released on a $10,000 bail after facing felony criminal possession of a weapon charge. Later that year, in December, Shmurda, his brother Javese, and a fellow member of his record label, Rowdy Rebel, were arrested alongside 14 others. The charges included conspiracy to commit murder, reckless endangerment, and possession of drugs and firearms. Other individuals within their group faced even more severe charges, such as murder and attempted murder. The arrests were connected to a gang called GS9, which coincidentally was the same name as Shmurda's record label. Prior to the rapper's rise to fame, the police had been investigating the gang for incidents of murder and indiscriminate shootings. In 2016, Shmurda faced a real G moment when he firmly declined to act as an informant, opting not to betray his GS9 gang members, including his close friend and music partner, Rowdy Rebel. He made this courageous decision despite the offer of a reduced 5-year sentence in exchange for cooperation. Instead, Shmurda chose a path of loyalty and accepted the court's offer of a 7-year sentence. In doing so, he pleaded guilty to 2 charges: conspiracy to criminally possess a weapon and criminal weapons possession leading to a 7-year jail sentence. He said, "I did it for Rowdy. They offered me 5 and offered Rowdy 12. They said the only way they'll give him 7 is if I took 7 too. So, I had to take one for the dogs." He served time initially in Rikers Island, but was later transferred to the Clinton Correctional Facility in upstate New York. Originally slated for release in December 2021, he managed to secure an early release and got out of prison 10 months ahead of schedule. Bobby Shmurda even got praise from Boosie Badass, aka Lil Boosie, for not snitching, calling him one of the real ones. He said, "It's a shame how the world don't glorify the real ones, SNH. Rats get more love than the stand-up guys." And that leads us to the next person, Boosie Badass, aka Lil Boosie. No one may hate snitches as much as Boosie Badass. He has absolutely no love for them and always makes it known. During the 2023 BET Awards, Boosie opened up about his unyielding anti-snitching stance, shedding light on the origins of his strong beliefs. Sharing candidly, Boosie revealed, "Because it happened to my family. Because I've had 2 uncles snitched on that did 20 or 10 years, Boosie said. "I was on death row because somebody lied on me and snitched on me. It's detrimental to my family since the 80s. So that's why I have no love for people who do that." But even despite the fact that someone snitched on him, he didn't snitch to get out of his arrest. In the gritty streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a young Boosie Badass, also known as Torrance Hatch Jr., came of age amidst the struggles and challenges. As he navigated the treacherous path of street life, Boosie found himself entangled in a series of legal issues. In 2009, he faced a significant arrest when he was caught with drugs and a firearm in a vehicle he was driving. Despite the severity of the charges, Boosie's legal team worked tirelessly to secure him a plea deal, reducing his potential 10-year sentence to just 2 years. The judge placed him on house arrest with an ankle monitor, but it didn't stop him from violating his probation and landing back behind bars. While in prison, Boosie faced one of the most challenging times of his life after getting indicted for first-degree murder relating to the death of Terry Boyd. Despite the trials and tribulations, Boosie remained steadfast. He served his time without caving into pressure, refusing to cooperate with authorities or rat out anyone. He knew the code of the streets and lived by it fiercely. Luckily for the murder charge, he was exonerated and escaped the death penalty. Upon his release from prison, Boosie emerged as a changed man. His hate towards snitching even led to a dramatic turn of events when he canceled a highly anticipated joint album project with the renowned rapper T.I.
Police, pull us over, I have a gun. Why are we going through the court process? And so we caught no gun cases, 2 died.
The roots of this decision can be traced back to a viral video from 2020 where T.I. confessed to having snitched on his deceased cousin in order to evade legal repercussions during the nascent stages of his career. I mean, it was technically even a dead relative, so it may not even count, but Boosie, our resident hater of all things snitching, didn't care. In a no-holds-barred interview, Boosie minced no words, expressing his unequivocal views on the matter. I don't spare body, because if you're doing anything wrong, you're doing anything criminal, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat, Boosie said. Boosie firmly believes that anyone who cooperates with law enforcement to evade legal consequences is, in his eyes, a rat. Tay-K, the 18-year-old Texas rapper, rose to fame through his unfiltered and raw rap music, which often mirrored his tumultuous life. Born as Tamor McIntyre, he started pursuing his rap dreams in Arlington, Texas, affiliated with the Daytona Boys, and gaining local recognition with tracks like Drift and Biff Zanin. However, his journey took a dark turn when, at the young age of 16, he found himself charged with murder. In July 2016, Tay-K and 6 others, including Megan Holt and Ariana Barat, planned a premeditated robbery targeting 21-year-old Ethan Walker, a drug dealer. Tragically, during the invasion, Walker was shot and killed while defending himself, leaving one man wounded but alive. The rapper was apprehended and faced a capital murder charge, leading to house arrest while awaiting trial. But on March 26, 2017, Tay-K took matters into his own hands and cut off his GPS ankle monitor, escaping and announcing his defiance on Twitter with the words, "This house arrest shit, 12, they can't have 2 catch me on hood." During his time on the run, Tay-K released The Race, a bold and viral hit that brazenly recounted his criminal escapades while thumbing his nose at the law. The music video and lyrics from this track became crucial pieces of evidence used against him during his trial. In June 2017, after 3 months on the run, Tay-K was apprehended in New Jersey by U.S. Marshals, who also charged him with another murder and aggravated assault. The rapper was accused of robbing, shooting, and killing 23-year-old Mark Saldivar at a San Antonio Chick-fil-A and assaulting a 65-year-old man in an Arlington park. As his legal battles intensified, Tay-K was tried as an adult on capital murder charges. Though he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated robbery, he vehemently denied committing the murder. Despite displaying a lack of remorse and disdain for the law in his track The Race, Tay-K remained steadfast and declined to snitch on his co-defendants, taking responsibility for his actions without implicating others. Although Tay-K was not the one who pulled the trigger, the court found him guilty of participating in the robbery, during which another individual shot and killed Walker. Prosecutors argued that Tay-K was well aware that the robbery could turn deadly when he agreed to take part in the crime to find money and drugs. The jury handed down a harsh sentence, condemning him to 55 years behind bars for his actions. Throughout the trial, Tay-K's defense maintained that he shouldn't be convicted of murder, as he wasn't the one who committed the killing. Nonetheless, the verdict came down against him. Despite the weight of the sentence and the mounting legal challenges, Tay-K stood his ground, displaying unwavering loyalty by refusing to cooperate or snitch on anyone involved, no matter the stakes. King Von. "You never ever snitch, not even on your worst enemy," are words from King Von himself, a real G. King Von, whose real name was Davon Bennett, was a talented rapper and rising star in the hip-hop scene. Born on August 9, 1994 in Chicago, Illinois, King Von had a tumultuous upbringing marked by violence and hardships in the streets of O-Block, a notoriously dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side.
Like if you would have been born where I'm at, you would have been happy in gangbang. Just because that's what it is. Or you ain't going outside.
I wish I never grew up in the projects. I wish I wish my mama had some money.
You know, my volume, I'm adapted to that.
Despite the challenges he faced, he found solace and passion in music. King Von's journey into the music industry began when he formed a close friendship with rapper Lil Durk, who had already achieved success in the rap game. Durk recognized King Von's talent and potential and took him under his wing, providing him with guidance and support to pursue a career in music. In 2018, King Von released his debut single, Crazy Story, which quickly gained traction and brought attention to his raw storytelling and vivid portrayal of street life. The song's success propelled him into the spotlight, and he began making waves in the rap community. As his fame grew, King Von faced legal troubles related to his past involvement in street activities. He had a history of criminal charges, including arrests for offenses like gun possession and assault. For instance, when he was 16, he went to jail for the first time and 2 years later was arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm. In November 2019, King Von was arrested for attempted murder in connection with a shooting incident in Atlanta, Georgia. However, he maintained maintained his innocence, claiming that he acted in self-defense. Despite facing serious legal challenges and the possibility of lengthy prison sentences, King Von remained steadfast and did not cooperate with law enforcement all through his criminal history. And my God, did Von have quite a criminal history. My guy had more mugshots than some guys have pictures. He maintained a strict code of loyalty to his friends and associates, even in the midst of a bitter feud with rival rapper FBG Duck and their respective crews. He even criticized Akon for collabing with Tekashi in a tweet. Von said, "I'll never forgive Akon for making that song with that rat ass." He also publicly condemned Tekashi 6ix9ine too. Tragically, King Von's life was cut short on November 6, 2020, when he was fatally shot outside a nightclub in Atlanta. The incident sent shockwaves through the music community and left his fans and loved ones mourning his untimely death. Drakeo the Ruler. In South Central Los Angeles, a young rapper named Drakeo the Ruler, born Daryl Caldwell, emerged from the rough neighborhoods, seeking an escape from the hardships through music. Drakeo's journey into the world of hip-hop began in his teenage years, when he and his brother started a dance crew. However, it was rapping that stole his heart, and he formed a group with friends called Too Greedy, later known as the Stink Team. Drakeo's talent quickly caught the attention of the local rap scene, and he began recording and releasing mixtapes, gaining a devoted following. But his rise to fame faced a major roadblock on a fateful night in December 2016 when a shooting occurred at a South LA party, resulting in the death of Davion Gregory, aka Red Bull. Due to rumors and his car being seen leaving the scene, Drakeo became a suspect. Law enforcement closely scrutinized his rap videos and lyrics, leading to a raid on his apartment and an arrest on weapons possession charges. Despite facing legal troubles, Drakeo's music career thrived. He signed a plea deal and served time in prison, returning to music with even greater acclaim after his release. The Washington Post praised his album Cold Devil, hailing it as one of the most mesmerizing and intimate rap albums out of LA. However, the dark clouds of the law still loomed over Drakeo. In September 2018, he was indicted on multiple felonies related to the 2016 incident, including murder and criminal gang conspiracy. Prosecutors argued that his rap crew, the Stink Team, was a criminal gang responsible for the killing, despite the evidence pointing elsewhere. Drakeo and his lawyers refuted the claims, insisting that rapping was merely an artistic expression and not a reflection of real-life crimes. In May 2019, a trial was held, and to Drakeo's relief, he was acquitted of all murder and attempted murder charges. However, the DA was determined to pursue another trial, this time using an opaque California penal code called 182.5, which allowed them to prosecute him for allegedly benefiting from gang activity. Civil rights activists decried the use of rap lyrics as evidence and considered it a test of free speech. The law really wanted my man Drakeo to go under, but throughout his legal battles, Drakeo remained unyielding. He did not let the pressures of the justice system deter him from his principles. Even a post on his social media accounts expressing frustration with the process led to solitary confinement, but he stood firm. Despite the trials and tribulations, Drakeo continued to write and create music within the confines of his cell, longing for the day he could reunite with his 2-year-old son and record his songs. His unwavering resolve and refusal to cooperate with authorities, despite the immense pressure, made him a symbol of loyalty among his crew and fans, proving that his art was his voice, his escape, and his truth. However, in an unfortunate turn of events on the 19th of December, 2021, Drakeo lost his life after getting stabbed following an altercation with some op. Lil Wayne. One can call Lil Wayne one of the most successful and visible rappers of our time, and they won't be wrong at all. The rap OG was born and raised in the impoverished Holly Grove neighborhood of New Orleans. Lil Wayne's love for music bloomed from a young age. Drawn to the rhythms of hip-hop icons like Missy Elliott and Jay-Z, he honed his rap skills at the tender age of 8. A prodigious talent, Tunechi's potential caught the eye of Cash Money Records co-founder Brian Birdman Williams, who became his mentor and played a pivotal role in shaping his career. The young rapper was also welcomed into the hip-hop group Hot Boys, collaborating on 3 successful albums. In 2004, Lil Wayne unleashed the critically acclaimed album Thaw Carter, heralding the beginning of a monumental series that would leave an indelible mark on his musical journey. The album garnered widespread praise, solidifying Wayne's standing as a formidable presence in hip-hop. Its sequels, The Carter II, The Carter III, The Carter IV, and The Carter V, continued to dominate the charts, achieving both commercial triumph and critical acclaim. But alas, just like a lot of rappers, Lil Wayne had his fair share of issues with the law. But I'm not going to focus on all of that right now. What I'll do is show you a video where Lil Wayne is being questioned and gives everyone a masterclass on how not to snitch on yourself or anyone. This was a deposition in relation to a court case he had against Quincy Jones, who was apparently suing Lil Wayne for not allowing him to release a movie about Lil Wayne. There's a lot, but we won't go into right now. Now back to the video where Peter Ross, Quincy Jones's lawyer, was grilling him. At first, the lawyer tries to use confusing language to throw Lil Wayne off, but he clocks it immediately clearly.
It's something that you would remember if your album, The Carter 3, was the biggest selling album of the year in 2008?
Isn't it something that I would remember that?
Yes.
Isn't that a personal opinion type question?
He was very aware of any confusing wordplay to confuse him. The lawyers then grills Lil Wayne about his criminal record, but he says this.
Did you recall that any criminal actions were pending against you at the end of 2008?
I don't recall any.
Do you recall being at all concerned about any criminal actions that may have been pending against you at the end of 2008?
I don't recall.
At one point, Lil Wayne doesn't even let the lawyer finish because, well, you guessed it, he doesn't recall.
Didn't you win
I don't know.
the award for Best Rap Album of the Year in
I don't know.
2008 for The Carter 3?
I don't know.
But the best part of this interview was this.
How would you describe your image in the media?
How would I describe my image in the media?
Yes.
I wouldn't describe it.
Well, how would you describe it if you had to?
I don't have to. I don't portray anything. I am who I am, and you guys portray what you get.
Lil Durk. In the vibrant streets of Chicago's South Side, a young rapper named Lil Durk emerged as a standout talent in the early 2010s. With a unique blend of raw lyricism and pop sensibility, Durk garnered attention both locally and beyond, leaving an indelible mark on the city's influential drill movement. As a teenager, he embarked on a journey to fame, releasing a series of mixtapes under his collective, OTF, Only the Family. Durk's artistry caught the eye of major labels, leading him to collaborate with numerous artists and achieve consistent success on the Billboard 200. However, Lil Durk's journey was not without challenges. In 2019, he found himself entangled in legal troubles, facing arrest alongside fellow rapper King Von, who tragically passed away.
The court finds probable cause for possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, participation in a criminal street gang activity, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and criminal attempt to commit murder.
As rumors swirled, people speculated about Durk's actions and whether he had cooperated with authorities. In fact, it became a thing, but the truth eventually came to light. He refused to talk and asked for legal representation, proving his loyalty and street credibility. In this document, it stated very clearly that he didn't even cooperate. After the truth came to light, he went online to post about what he feels about snitches. Despite the trials he faced, Lil Durk has evolved both personally and professionally. While he may still sport his signature blonde tinged locks, he's focused on making positive changes in his community. Meeting with the mayor and aiming to give back, he seeks to inspire and uplift young lives. Lil Durk has been actively working on improving his mental well-being and uplifting his community. However, one thing he is unwavering about is his stance on snitches. In a recent interview shared on Academic's Instagram page, the Chicago rapper made it crystal clear, expressing his strong disdain for those who snitch. "I hate all rats. If you ever tell, I hate you," like with a passion, Lil Durk asserted. He then talked about how the betrayal of a snitch deeply impacted his life, robbing him of valuable time with his father. Raised by his mother as a result, he carries a deep-seated resentment towards those who turn on others. Bearing his entire emotions, Durk continues, "That made me who I am today. That took away half of my life." Telling on my pops. "So I was raised by a woman, my mama. So I really hate rats with a real passion. Like I hate you. Bad. I'm looking to the camera. I hate rats." With this declaration, Lil Durk sends a clear message about his unwavering principles and the significance of loyalty in his life. Casanova. So, this may be the most controversial one on this list, so stay with me. Once on the path to fame, Brooklyn rapper Casanova, also known as Caswell Sr., found himself entangled in a web of criminal activities that led to a drastic turn in his life. His rise to prominence was marked by an energizing performance at a title-sponsored festival at Barclays Center, where he exhibited the spirit of a true Brooklyn hero. With his album Behind These Scars, Sr. delved into vulnerability, revealing a side of him that departed from his earlier unyielding style. wild. However, his journey took a dark twist when, in December 2020, federal prosecutors unveiled a staggering indictment involving 18 alleged members of the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang, a criminal enterprise he was allegedly involved in since 2004. Facing a RICO charge and the weight of a sprawling drug conspiracy case, Senior's future was at stake. There was a lot of noise that he was snitching. None of it was substantial because he remained in court until 2022 because he didn't snitch. The reason people thought this was because he took a plea deal and he was allegedly wiretapped. But what happened was different. For the wiretap, Casanova didn't even know his calls were being intercepted. Facing a RICO charge and a potential sentence of up to 60 years, Casanova chose not to cooperate, but rather pleaded guilty, hoping for a lenient sentence. But it's worth noting that someone from his own gang had already cooperated with the authorities, providing damning information about him. According to reports, a cooperator from his gang disclosed that Casanova accidentally fired a gun at a poker game, and there were witnesses who claimed he was involved in large shipments of marijuana and other violent incidents. These testimonies from within his own circle contributed to the mounting evidence against him. In the face of mounting charges and the lure of cooperating, Senior remained steadfast and did not snitch on his crew. So during a hearing in May 2022, Senior took the courageous step of pleading guilty to 2 counts: racketeering conspiracy and narcotics conspiracy. He admitted to planning crimes with the Gorilla Stone gang, including agreeing to possess and sell large quantities of marijuana and involvement in a robbery at a diner. The reason he even agreed to plead guilty was because someone else had snitched on him. In June 2023, Casanova was sentenced to nearly 16 years, or 188 months, in prison, marking a significant turning point in his life and career. The consequences of his actions overshadowed the once promising rapper's dreams of fame and success. Despite facing such serious charges and the betrayal from within, Casanova remained steadfast and didn't resort to snitching. He took responsibility for his actions, owning up to his guilty plea and accepting the consequences of his choices. This display of loyalty, even in the face of adversity, speaks volumes. YNW Melly. YNW Melly, aka Jamel Demons, the talented rapper hailing from Gifford, Florida, captured the hearts of many with his unique melodic style and emotionally charged lyrics. From a young age, he turned to music to escape the challenging circumstances of his upbringing. Inspired by his icons like Lil Wayne and Michael Jackson,
Yeah, I wanted to be Michael Jackson. Ever since I was like 5.
YNW Melly honed his skills, crafting songs and recording them in the confines of his own bedroom. In 2017, his debut EP, Collect Call, served as a springboard for his rise to prominence. The EP's success set the stage for his breakthrough into the mainstream music scene. With chart-topping singles like Murder on My Mind and Virtual Blue Balenciagas, YNW Melly became a recognizable name, garnering millions of views and adoring fans on YouTube. However, as he experienced success in his music career, darker shadows loomed over YNW Melly's life. In February 2019, his world was turned upside down when he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, accused of involvement in the deaths of his friends and fellow rappers, Christopher Thomas Jr., YNW Juvie, and Anthony Williams, YNW Sack Chaser.
YNW Melly, as well as another man, are being held here at the Broward County Jail this morning. They are each charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and they're also accused of, as you said, staging this crime scene to appear as though it was a drive-by shooting.
The incident, which took place in October 2018, brought grave allegations, suggesting that YNW Melly had orchestrated the crime scene to appear as if a drive-by shooting had occurred. The charges weighed heavily on the young artist, carrying the possibility of life imprisonment or even the death penalty. Throughout the legal process, YNW Melly vehemently maintained his innocence, professing his love for his friends and denying any involvement in their tragic deaths. Admirably, despite the immense pressure, he stood firm and did not resort to snitching or implicating others in the case, even YNW Bortland, who was also on trial with him. His lawyer instead focused on poking holes in the prosecution's claims and evidence.
Based on the information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations these phones are following, can you?
One of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general area.
As the legal proceedings continued to unfold, YNW Melly's situation captured the public's attention, eliciting both empathy and skepticism from fans and critics alike. Undeterred by his legal battles, his music continued to resonate with audiences, with hits like Mixed, Personalities featuring Kanye West, and Suicidal featuring Juice WRLD, enjoying commercial success. Despite everything, the case ended in a mistrial on July 22nd after jurors failed to reach a unanimous verdict. His case has been agreed to be retried in October of 2023. If you found this list interesting, click on the card you see on your screen for similar videos.